Bamboo and rattan are plants that grow in the forest. And of course the protection of our forests and forested areas is very important within the framework of climate change. We are here particularly because of our work we're doing with bamboo. Bamboo is a very, very fast grower. It's probably the fastest growing plant in the world. It produces biomass at a very high rate. So a lot of people have been interested in the possibilities of carbon sequestration through bamboo. And in the last couple of years we've done quite a lot of work on that subject. And we are able to show now that it is very possible to do carbon sequestration with bamboo at a comparable level with other trees in programs that are directed to afforestation.
And give us an idea about the level of coverage of bamboo and rattan around the world. Is this prevalent in other places apart from, I guess, China, where we always you kind of associate bamboos and pandas, don't you?
Well, there's definitely an association between bamboos and pandas, but there's probably in total something between 25 and 50 million hectares of bamboo forest around the world, and not only in Asia, not only where the pandas are, but also in Africa and also in Latin America. A lot of people tend to associate bamboo more with Asia than with Africa and Latin America, but there are big forests there, and there's these forests and these plants are being used by local people, for example, for construction, for making houses, and for other uses around in their lives.
And is it a fast-growing tree plant? I'm not sure what you call bamboo or rattan. Is it fast-growing though? Are people using this on sort of an industrial scale? Are they farming it on an industrial scale?
It's a very fast-growing plant. It can grow, and we'll talk about bamboo here mainly. It can grow up to 1 meter a day, and it can grow to about 40 meters high in about 2 months. So it really grows fast. If you look at the bamboo sector, the industry, that is best developed in Asia, and to a little extent also in the west of Latin America. In Africa, it's a very popular plant, but it's basically only used at household level.
And how important are these plants to local communities? I'm thinking, culturally, how important are sort of bamboos to local communities in Asia and China?
They're very important. People have a lot of cultural links with the bamboo. It's often part of their legends. We estimate that probably about 1 billion people in the world have bamboo and rattan as part of the way they live. They live in a house, or they use it in their lives. They use it for fences. Many of those people are relatively poor people, rural people, but it's becoming, of course, a very interesting renewable timber in urban areas as well, because people associate bamboo with being green, bamboo with being good for the environment, and bamboo being a positive force in our endeavors to cope with climate change. But there were no real data for that. And that's obviously something that we've been doing in the last couple of years, to trying to put something together. And I'm extremely pleased that here, together with our partners from China in this particular case, we've been able to launch officially a method for carbon credits in bamboo, which has now become official in China.
And I guess on a final point, is there a problem when people associate a certain plant with being green, and it leads to everyone using it and everyone farming it on an absolutely enormous scale? I remember when palm oil was first invented, people thought, wow, this is amazing, we've got this wonderful plant that we can grow and it can provide us with palm oil. And then obviously people knocked down rainforests and had huge palm oil forests. Is that a problem that, not just in palm oil and bamboo, that we need to be aware of in all sectors? That's
a very interesting question. We certainly don't want bamboo to become, let's say, like palm oil. We don't think that that will happen. What we would like to see is that bamboo is going to be appreciated not only for its use in in people's lives in the form of fences and in the form of timber, but also as a plant that can sequester carbon and that people are going to be reimbursed, are going to be get a reward for the carbon that is sequestered in their bamboos that are standing in their backyards, in the groves behind their houses, and maybe in the products that they are using. We think that it's important that we show that particular part of the bamboo plant as well, and in combination with its potential to contribute to development, because local people can process the bamboo and make it into products, and that will contribute to their income. And at the same time, what we see is that bamboo is a very good plant to plant on degraded lands and on riverbanks, and can provide protection against erosion. And this is part of adaptation. So what do we see with bamboo is that it can contribute to mitigation, it can contribute to adaptation, and it can contribute to development. And those are three very important challenges in our fight to cope with climate change. And we have to address them at the same time. I'm not going to say that bamboo is the only solution, definitely not. But we do think that the fact that it can contribute to these three different challenges is something for people to look out for and to use in the future.